Hello, you are listening to the Gamer Librarian Podcast, the best podcast you can find on this side of the multiverse. I am your host Adrian, and this week we are continuing our journey through the Hunter x Hunter and Zat's Bell mangas while starting our playthrough of Metaphor ReFantazio. If there's anything that you think I would enjoy, video games or books or anything, leave a comment down below and I will do my best to finish those sometime for the podcast. Thank you for joining. All right, here we are, another great Friday. We're in the middle of November, guys. This is, almost the end of the year, and it's pretty exciting. The Game Awards is right around the corner. Some really great games have honestly just dropped this month very recently, which I don't think are like, maybe they're not contenders because of the cutoff. I remember that being a thing a few years ago. But for me, game of the year, I think I would have to put it up to either Wukong or Metaphor ReFantazio. Just the games that came out this year, new games that I've played recently, I would chalk it up to those two. I'm having a blast playing both. I still need to finish Wukong, right? I'm on chapter 6. I'm not very deep into chapter 6, but I've been itching to do more like the RPG stuff. So I definitely did Persona 3, and that came out earlier this year, I believe, if not end of last year. I don't necessarily remember when it launched, but I played it this year. And, I like it. I like the Persona feel, but Metaphor ReFantazio really just puts a great spin on that Atlas gameplay style. And it's just so refreshing, so nice. And the world is so new. And obviously, there's a lot of parallels and to like the real world. So not to knock off just what the two differences are, because Wukong is based off of like a very mythological kind of fictional based story. It has some semblance to the real world. I remember in the beginning it talks about monks and stuff very early on with I think Chinese history. I'm not sure how much of that is actually accurate in terms of the book or history or even the game, but Metaphor is like an entirely fictional world that draws a lot of influence from the modern world, which is great. And I like both. So for me, I would pick those two games as like my contender for game of the year. And yeah, that was just game of the year is like my holiday. So like I know people are ready for Christmas and much closer is like Thanksgiving and stuff. So we're doing Thanksgiving stuff here for the apartment. That's gonna be fun. Having friends over, Friendsgiving. It's gonna be really great. And then people like to do Black Friday. I don't know if people go to stores anymore. I'm not sure how much of that is really still a thing, but online sales for video games, even books and comics is really great. So hopefully everybody can get what they want for a good price, just to get a chance to finally read that copy of something or play that game that you've been wanting. So hoping people get what they want for this year. I think everybody deserves it. This year was a relatively positive year for most people, at least for me, I would say. So yeah, I don't know how much time I'm going to be devoting to games this week. Mostly not a lot because I have a concert on Sunday and then our Friendsgiving is tomorrow, Saturday. So it's going to be a fun time. We're going to busy weekend. So hopefully I'm going to try and get as far into ReFantazio as I can. And I'm still trying to finish Wukong, like I said before. So I want to try and get that done, obviously, before the year is over. And I want to try and get back into Final Fantasy 14 before the year end, because I believe they usually do like a free trial sometime around the holidays, and that's usually when I go back to Final Fantasy and just play for a little bit. So I want to try and really blast through as much as I can for December on that. But I've also been itching to play Monster Hunter, with Rise getting a lot of advertising and videos put out for it now. They just had a beta, right? And I might have mentioned this before in the podcast, but I have not been very interested in World when I first played it when it came out. I just did not like the overall style of the grindy nature, and then like the co-op, the online stuff was like not really my bread and butter. I was more looking for more single player focused stuff. I know you could do most of the game single player, but it just felt like the game was more towards that more community style gameplay. And I know Rise came out, so I was debating either doing Rise because I got that free, or I'll just do World again. And I'm not really sure, but Wilds does look really fun, the whole new game. So I'm looking forward to seeing which one I decide to pick. I'm not really sure. But another game that also came out very recently it's called like Ant Game, and I'm not really following it too close because I want to be completely surprised by it. But what they showed off from the showcases earlier this year with like the gameplay and stuff. I just want to play an ant game. Like I love bugs. Bug shit is awesome. So I want to play a bug centered game and see them fight things and all that kind of stuff. I think it's gonna be really awesome. And we got definitive gameplay of my boy Ghostface in Mortal Kombat 1. They put out gameplay for his release in the Chaos Reigns expansion, and now I gotta say, as much as he looks very similar to characters like Rambo and he may just be like a single like stabby close range kind of guy. He has some sauce, and they gave him some justice with the references and the styling of the character. Now when you pick Ghostface, apparently you're not just picking one Ghostface because it's never just one, right? So you're getting three different versions of Ghostface. You get one that's like just the generic Ghostface from their own world brought into Mortal Kombat, same way like every other guest character is. And then the other two are like two that he recruits from some other NetherRealm game, uh, Shadow something. And I think that's really cool. The fact that they're pulling in like other references just for Ghostface to make him more like, oh, this dude's here. He's killing stuff. He's making their own characters kind of psychotic against their own way, like they do in the movies, like the Scream 2, or I mean, all the Screams, really. There's always someone behind the scenes making somebody like be a killer, right? That's the whole point. But I'm excited to play my boy Ghostface. It's going to be so cool killing people and seeing that awesome fatality, the faux 3D like fourth wall breaking out of the screen kill. Oh, it's so good. But I just really excited to play Ghostface. I haven't been excited for Mortal Kombat characters since maybe like Alien and Mortal Kombat X. I just have not been that excited. And as like it feels so out of place that Ghostface is in this game when you know Mortal Kombat X really is I would say like is considered the horror side of Mortal Kombat, like the horror crossover. There's so many iconic guest characters that are in there, and then like Freddy Krueger was like the start, and like MK9, and it's just like, man, I wish we could get Ghostface slashing against like Jason and Michael Myers, or I think Michael Myers is in there. I know Leatherface. Leatherface is in there. I don't know why Michael Myers came up, but and then is Hellraiser in there? No. I don't really know all the guest characters. I haven't really played that much, but like I know a few of them started like MKX. I haven't played that game in such a long time either. All the MK games have been coming out very recently. They're just relatively the same. But I like MK1 with like the tag co-op kind of aspect to it. I wish that it was maybe 3v3, or maybe it had like maybe specific versions where people could play the characters on a team. It's been a long time since I've played it, but it'll be a good reason to get back into it with the Chaos Reigns expansion. I'm getting it specifically for only Ghostface. He comes out November 19th, which is pretty awesome. So there's like early access for the pre-order. I don't know if I'm gonna do all that, but I think it comes out regularly like November. I don't even know what it says here. 19th. Yeah, I guess 19th. Uh, yeah, it's awesome. And so, you know, I'm always baffled by really fun gaming news, right? So, I was looking through and I saw a title where it's like a gamer sent Nintendo a letter boasting that he had thousands of burner channels to stream Nintendo's pirated games, and Nintendo tracked him down and they found him and now he's suing them. I know there's a follow-up article about like how much they're suing him for, but I just think it's crazy that he's like telling them that I'm doing this, knocking on their door and being like, "Hi, I am screwing you." It's funny. It's really funny. Um, and Microsoft is kind of going downhill. They've really, I feel like they're a little out of touch with the uh, way that they're trying to buy these companies and use them for their platforms, and then the way they're handling these game releases, right? We talked about a little bit what they did in the past, right, with like the layoffs and then the CEO getting money for himself, but you know, they have like a new ad campaign, like this is an Xbox ad campaign. I just think it's really bad and silly, and the memes are online are pretty funny, but I know they just came out with, Call of Duty, and that might seem like it's doing pretty well, but like one big hit in like I would think the last 2 or 3 years for your Game Pass subscription thing, it's just like, ooh, That's kind of it's kind of rough, right? And I'm not really excited for anything Xbox really even has slated. Like Gears of War kind of worries me, and I don't even want to think about what Halo Studios right could be doing now that Halo Infinite is like still kicking. They're putting out updates, which is awesome. Now I'm also a big RTS fan, and um, Civilization characters are coming out for Civ 7. I know all about that. And then, I've been really to get back into like Age of Empires and Age of Mythology. I know that they just got some new games like Age of Mythology 4. I might have played a little bit ago, and I'm sorry, Age of Empires 4 came out really recently, like this year. And then Mythology, I haven't gotten the touch, right? They just had a new one. And now they announced, or like they put out, right? Remastered versions of Warcraft 1 and 2, and I never played those games. Those always seemed really fun. I think they're pretty cheap, maybe like $10 or so on maybe whatever store that Blizzard uses. But I'm not, keen on buying Blizzard games right now. But like I've always wanted to give the RTS side of Warcraft a shot. Warcraft, is also really fun, but I don't think I'm ever going to go back and play that, even if they're going to put out the Mr. Pandaria expansion, which is pretty exciting. That's where I started out. I was the only one I really played, so it was just like that was really just it. And then you know I'm kind of hoping they put World of Warcraft like free to play. I kind of feel like it's time now, especially like Game Pass. Like, why are you not doing that yet? Like, you bought them, just to get it over with. I think that's crazy, especially with all the money they're charging for their um, microtransaction mountains and stuff. That shit is pretty wild. But what else I'm excited for is a game that's coming out, I think later this year, is Rita's Rewind, the new Power Rangers game. Now, I'm not a big beat 'em up arcade style game. Those games are a little like kind of you know, mid to me, but I never really liked the Scott Pilgrim game or whether Power Ranger like beat 'em up games I played as a kid. But this being like 5 players, and it even has um like chase style races with the bosses, and even like first person bosses for the game itself. I think it's going to be really fun. I'm looking more forward to playing it with like friends and stuff, and especially like a Power Rangers game. I have not gotten a chance to play Power Rangers in a very long time or watch them, other than the Power Rangers fighting game, which is sick as hell. So definitely looking forward to playing this game whenever it comes out. Now, I'm also never been a big sports fan outside of like playing Mario Sluggers or like Mario at the Olympics, right? I occasionally tried to play the like Madden and MLB kind of games, and I never really stuck with those, right? Until I got like a lot older through my college years, right? I was into more it's like sports documentaries. I think are really fun, like the sports history side of it. So I was surprised when Amazon put out a trailer for like they are publishing or like putting money into a Madden themed documentary for the video game. It being like produced and created and under like with the help of John Madden, the notorious figure. And I think that's pretty cool. So that's definitely something that I'm going to keep a lookout and watch. It comes out November 26th. So sometime in the next like 2 weeks, I'll be definitely watching all of that. And that reminds me actually, um, earlier I might have posted about it, you might have saw it, but uh, the remarkable life of Evelyn. Oh, I can't believe I forgot about it when I was talking about Warcraft. The remarkable life of Evelyn is a great and very heartfelt documentary about a World of Warcraft player who had a uh, muscular disease during his younger years, and by the time he passes, his family goes into his accounts just to close them out and all that kind of stuff, and they message the people that were on his Warcraft account and like his blog and stuff, and those people come back and send very heartfelt um, like emails back and stuff about him and things that they liked about this young player and how he contributed to the community of Warcraft and that kind of legacy. And that was such a great movie. That was so uh man, like just heartwarming to see those kind of moments in gaming in real world, right? Like the idea of these video game communities, these spaces around the world connecting us, very similar in the same way to like social media. Yeah, you just connect and you play a game together, right? The Call of Duty or just like online lobbies, but things like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, other kinds of online communities still even have that kind of um, togetherness, that kind of community, and I think that's very, very wholesome. That's a very wholesome kind of thing. So that was I might have heard the story in the past that maybe somebody who passed got a statue, but I feel like that might have happened a few times, but I can't really say when I heard this story specifically. But I was very surprised to see that documentary came out, and I chose to watch it with Hannah, and that was just very, very nice. So it makes me want to go back and actually play World of Warcraft. It really does. But I'm gearing towards Final Fantasy, so that's probably gonna be the MMO. But that was just very heartfelt, and like a heartwarming kind of documentary. That was very nice. So yeah, I do think it's time to talk about our sponsor, Dubby. Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like other energy drinks. We also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. W contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. If you use the coupon code down below, you can get 10% off your order on products like drinks, powders, apparel, portable bottles, stickers, bags, and more. That's if you use the coupon code down below at checkout. W is an energy drink powder that is produced in FDA registered and inspected facilities in the United States. So, yeah, where do we begin? I didn't choose a Native American book to read yet. I just didn't get a chance to do that. And I haven't checked up on it if any of the Absolute Batman or Superman comics issues have come out like anytime recently. Like I just haven't gotten a chance to do that. However, the thing I have been keeping up with is manga, of course. Now, Wild Strawberry did not have a new chapter this week. The writer is sick, so hopefully they overcome that for their health only. So I've also been reading Zatspell, and Zatspell's been very fun, right? We're on chapter 90. Only about 40 of the demon children are left in this tournament, right? I imagine there's gonna be another one, right? Because maybe around maybe chapter like 120 is going to be like less or so, or almost at the 100. That's crazy. And I know that there's like maybe like 300 or 400 chapters in just this first part alone. So I'm wondering, just there's probably gonna be another tournament. Maybe I'm imagining maybe a tournament in the demon world. I remember nothing about how Zatspell the anime turned out. I am remembering a lot of character moments, specifically. I'm remembering uh, Polygon, Ponygon, the little pony horse character biting the character's hand all the time and carrying the little sack. I remember that so much, which is crazy, and I'm loving that character. It's so fun seeing him again. But the real stars of the show is Kanchome and Parko Fulgore, right? They're so silly. Their little stint with um like saving the girl's like friend, and then like going to the festival and stuff. That all was really cool. So I'm really enjoying reading Zat's Bell. So I'm hoping just like to see where Zat and Takamine go. Right, I think it's gonna be really fun. I'm hoping for the Demon World. It's gonna be crazy. And other than Zat's Bell, I've also been reading Hunter x Hunter. That's been very fun doing that again as well. Now we're on chapter 87. I try to keep these two pretty balanced and see where I can stay together around 10 chapters per each. And I told myself that before this episode came out, I was going to get to chapters 100, but I had no time for prepping since like Friendsgiving, all that stuff. I just did not get a chance. And so, but I'm ecstatic. I'm not remembering too much about what happens now that the initial like tournament is over, right? Now that the like Gon has pawned his license over and they're looking for this game. I don't remember any of this stuff. So it's all practically new to me. I'm excited to see what they end up doing with the Phantom Troop, seeing where that goes. And I'm just excited to see where Hunter x Hunter is going to go with like its ending, because it started up very recently again. So I want to be caught up and relatively ready for the like the ending of the manga. I just think it would be really exciting. Like that and One Piece are like really the only ones I try to keep up with. Berserk is another one that I'm going to try and do a little more. I think a chapter is supposed to come out this month, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really too caught up on like when those come out. I got to make like a definitive list here for the podcast, and it's been pretty busy just coming up to the last end of the year, so it's been pretty hectic. But hopefully next year will be like a new brighter horizon here for the podcast. I think it's gonna be really fun. And, other than manga, of course, big anime guy, still watching Fullmetal Alchemist with a girlfriend. But last week, I did not get a chance to talk about Dragon Ball Daima because I completely forgot to watch it before recording the episode. I completely forgot to watch it. So, episode 5 introduces a new character, Patsy, and you get some pretty cool lore for the most part. But the new episode, episode 6, was really fun. It offered potty humor, which is not a whole lot. Like it's not like a far stretch for Dragon Ball. So it's just fun seeing that again, just because it's silly and nonsensical. And then it gets a little serious, and then it kind of has like a fun fight. There's a really fun fight at the end of it between Goku and Glorio. The new like protagonist, antagonist. It's kind of getting gray liney for the first episode with this character, but they have like a power test kind of thing, and Goku goes Super Saiyan and he wipes the clock with him pretty much. And it was all in the tense of like ignoring a monster. Like I know that makes no sense, but you gotta go watch it. It was a little funny. I kind of liked the whole idea of it. It's just silly. This is definitely a more silly kind of style Dragon Ball, and um, I've been saying before that Dragon Ball Super doesn't have that kind of intense episode to episode like drama that it kind of was back when we were watching it in its heyday. Even GT has that to a point, but I think like because Super started with movies and then because like it's a movie, they're not really gonna have a cliffhanger, right? Because even Resurrected F would have had a cool cliffhanger if they didn't do Vegeta's win in the end. But it's besides the Tournament of Power, right, and maybe the few like arcs before that, it doesn't really have that kind of dramatic stuff. And I've read Moro, I've read Serial. Those definitely lose their dramata because those definitely boil down to, oh, Goku and Vegeta are a little weak. Give them a little bit to just recover. They're off screen and then they come back and fight and then they power up. And then there's like even a training segment which isn't terrible, but it definitely doesn't have that same kind of feel. The stakes aren't there. But for Daima, it kind of feels like there's gonna be maybe something towards the end. We definitely got a cool shot teasing Kid Vegeta training and Kid Bulma working on the fucking Kai spaceship, and then like Kais grow from trees, which is crazy. So I don't know. I'm just here for the lore. I'm here for the fun moments that are in Dragon Ball Daima, and whatever's gonna happen. I think it's just gonna be really exciting. And yeah, for the podcast, that's basically we're going to be wrapping up. And end of the year is kind of odd because I try to like have a good mix of news and all that kind of stuff, but like no game news comes out around this time. So it's like the game awards, and that'll be like just like a few game announcements and everything else that like that. I don't really think a lot happens around this time of the year. So trying to fill in time with a whole bunch of other kind of stuff. But hopefully you guys out there have something fun for me to read or play with all this free time that I'm gonna have. Give me something that I'm gonna want to do. I think it'd be fun to talk about. Anyway, I'll see you guys next Friday. Peace.